Hey, Ro, I hope you're doing well. First off, don't worry about being late in sending me your form. I knew that you were away, just is what it is. I also was out of service until midday yesterday, so don't stress about it. Okay, so let's get into a little bit about what you were talking about. So you have, right now we have 3 workouts this week. Let me know where you're at with that. If you want more, if you want 4. I'm thinking basically we'll keep your mobility on the weekends so that you can like get your walking in, go for steps kind of idea, go get outside, move your body. But then you can start your day off with a mobility to keep your shoulders and your back loose and mobile and ready to rock and roll. Let me know what you think about that. That's my first thing. Okay, and then I hope that you had the best time on your trip. I hope that you had so much fun and you enjoyed being super aunt with your nieces and just having the best time with your family. You deserve that. So I'm glad to hear that you were able to get away and just enjoy some time with them. I apologize. This is my second time recording this because the first time did not actually record. So we're doing this for round 2. And I did not have a sip of water in that 20 minutes. Okay. Now, for your bloating, I want you to remember one thing. One, you were on holidays. Different foods, different oils, different things that they use in the States. Makes complete sense. Second is travel. Travel will always make your bowels be a little bit more funky. Give yourself grace in that too. So grace, space in that process. Um, that's what I have to share with you on that part. Um, Okay, moving into the next piece. So looking at your MyFitnessPal, thank you for sharing that with me. I appreciate it. Take a little look and what do you see for your own patterns? That's what I would encourage you to go back and take a look at. What I see is high level carbs, low level protein, low level calories. And so, excuse me. So what I want you to try to do this week is boost your protein to 20 to 30 grams bare minimum every time you eat. Okay. What this is going to do is going to boost your metabolism. It's going to keep you full for longer. It's going to make it so that you're not eating nearly as many carbs, which is not a bad thing to eat carbs, by the way. I'm never going to tell you to stop eating carbs, especially with what your goals are and how your body is responding. And we're healing a lot of things. We don't need to reduce carbs. We just need to be intentional about what kind we're getting. So we'll deal with that later. But right now, protein is the priority. Boosting your protein and maintaining the rest. If you don't feel hungry when you're eating your full meals that you have right now, then what I want you to do is just focus on eating the protein and vegetables first, and then eat your grains or your carbohydrates second. And then you'll be able to get more protein in and eat less of the carbs. You're going to boost your calories a little bit, which is exactly what we want. We want to pull you out of your low deficit and have you at more of a maintenance level and then be able to reverse you back down a little bit. But first we gotta make your body feel comfortable and trust that you're gonna get enough nutrients in a day. So that's number one, okay? Getting your protein up. And so what ways can you get protein up? Meat is your number one best friend. So you might think, I have Crohn's. It's not my number one best friend. Let's break this down a little bit. We're gonna have like turkey, like lean meats. So turkey, pork, chicken, fish is also really good. So any kind of fish that you want, it's all fine by me. Shrimp, tuna, all the things. Now I am a stickler for quality personally. We can dig into that if you'd like. So if you want to know about like what quality I personally recommend, so you get more bang for your buck and no nasty ingredients in your body. I am very particular when it comes to fish specifically that I do not get fish from China. I only get fish from like Canada essentially and try to get line caught because when it's farmed, it's just not the best quality. It's just not in its natural environment. And then they end up having a lot of nasty things that they eat. So that's something that I always look at. Tuna, I do the same thing. I go for line caught. That's what I go for, like in the cans, same thing. And then when it comes to, sorry, don't mind the dinging on my end. When it comes to chicken, I personally like to go to like I go to butcher shops for the stuff like that because I like the quality of that. I find it just tastes better. It's pasture raised. It's raised with bugs that they eat on the farm rather than corn. And this is the next piece for you, which is I know that you said red meat really bothers you. What I'm going to encourage you to try on a day off, not on a day that you have work, not on a day that you're busy doing stuff, but on a day off is to grab 1 pound of grass-fed ground beef. And so here's the reason. Conventional ground beef from the grocery store is not going to be great quality because it is fed corn and wheat. They use that to make it fatter. They fatten up the cow that way. It means that it's going to they're going to get paid more when they sell it, right? But it also makes it really hard to digest, very hard to digest, especially if you don't have the enzymes for it. So I'm going to encourage you to go get grass-fed 1 pound and add in a small amount to a meal. It might be like chicken salad, and you add in an eighth of a cup, like I mean like a small amount, an eighth of a cup of ground beef. Or maybe you have eggs and you like always eat eggs for breakfast, whatever, right? And then you toss in an eighth of a cup of ground beef into it with taco seasoning on it and make it like a Mexi breakfast. Topped with salsa, delicious. But try it in a way that you're able to have a small amount and see how your body responds. The thing about your body and all bodies is that, when we stop eating something, we stop producing the enzymes for it because our bodies are brilliant. Why would we keep producing enzymes for something that we're not eating? We wouldn't, right? Like it's a waste of energy. So that's the thing I want you to try is adding that back in to see how your body responds to it. And then we can go from there. If it doesn't work, remember that the first time it might feel a little bit uncomfortable. So I would try it like I said, if this is like, say you have like the full weekend off, you don't have any crazy plans, Friday night, you have a little bit of ground beef in your dinner. And then Saturday, same thing. Saturday night, you add a little bit into your dinner. Sunday, a little bit into your dinner. That way, if at the end of the day and you're like, oh, I just don't feel good, like you shouldn't feel that way, but if you do, then you can have a hot bath, you can let your body just relax, go to sleep, all that kind of stuff, right? So that's something to think about is trying to add that in small quantities. When you are sensitive to red meat, like I was really sensitive to red meat for a really long time, so when you said that to me on the phone, I was like, I totally understand what that feels like, where you're like, it's just not an option. And I love it. Like I love red meat. I'm like a Burton through and through. Um, and I couldn't eat it for years because it just like made me so nauseous and so sick and so much pain. So I totally understand what you're talking about, which is why we're going to slowly start to integrate a small amount of high quality protein, okay, through it and see if it works for you. And if it doesn't, it doesn't, but it's worth a shot, okay? But the quality is very important. So grass fed, ideally grass finished. And so like don't be afraid to ask when you go to a butcher shop, like look up, Google grass-fed ground beef, and you should be able to find, or grass-fed meat, you should be able to find some butcher shops and then ask them, is it grass-fed, grass finished? If it's like wheat or grain finished for a week, okay, whatever. But ideally we'll get grass-fed, grass finished. Okay. And then eggs is another really great protein source. Edamame is a good protein veggie. Those are really the protein options that I'd recommend. Things like beans, like they are protein filled, but they're primarily carb filled. Like if you looked at the back, like if you looked at a can of beans, for example, you're going to see probably a 3-to-1 ratio of carbs to protein. So you're not going to actually get as much protein out of them as you think, but like to have them in with your, say you're having chicken taco salad, for example, right? You make like pulled chicken, put it on your salad, add some salsa, some veg, whatever, guac, and then you add in some black beans. You're going to get some protein from that. It's going to boost your protein too, but you're also going to get some carbs. Just to be mindful of that. So it's more so meat and animal products you're going to get the most amount of protein from. Eggs, egg whites, wicked protein source. If you could have eggs in the morning for breakfast, 2 eggs and half a cup of egg whites, you'll be set. Like boom, boom. Plus add in some veggies and some like natural selection ham slices or something like that. And I'm talking about ham slices, I'm talking about like as least processed as possible. So if you can get like Canadian back bacon, wicked, a little bit better. But look at the ingredients. It should hopefully have just like meat, salt. It might have smoke or nitrates. But like you can see when they're super processed, try to avoid the processed ones and have more like whole meat. And toss that in there. And like seriously, if you had that for breakfast, you're like set. Um, Another option is protein powder. So we've talked about this a little bit with Arbonne, and I know that you were intrigued and interested in the products that I was talking about. So different things that I'd recommend. We have 2 different protein powders. One is Simply One, which is a low carbohydrate, 20 grams of protein. All of our protein is vegan. It's pea, rice, and cranberry for this one. And then the other one is Essential Meal, which is a meal replacement protein. And so this one, I mean, it's nice because it's a food, so you don't get taxed on it, especially in Montreal where taxes are crazy. It's awesome. But it's pea, rice, um, quinoa, pumpkin seeds, hemp hearts. Yes, it's a newer one, so I'm like always have to remind myself what it is. But it's a meal replacement, so it has proteins, fats, carbohydrates. 24 grams of protein, which is wicked. You literally could just add it to water or coconut milk or something like that. Toss it into some Greek yogurt if your body can handle Greek yogurt. Mine does not do it well, but maybe yours does. Um, you can add it literally to anything. Like I make so many different things. You can make protein pancakes with it, and you can do whatever you want and get additional protein in that way as well. Okay. So let me know if there's either of those are of interest to you and what flavor you'd like. Vanilla, chocolate, coffee. Vanilla is a good staple in my opinion, but chocolate and coffee are also delicious. And I'll send you a cart with that. Also for your bowels, like your bloating, bowels, and energy levels, greens, gut health, fizz. This is the combo that I recommend for pretty much everybody for a reason. It's the thing that changed my life. It's impacted like hundreds of my own clients. Greens obviously super good for us because there's 36 fruits and veggies in one scoop. It's amazing. Gut health has probiotics, prebiotics, and lab digestive enzymes. Really, really good for you too. That's gonna be the thing that helps with your bloating and your bowel function, and your sensitivity for sure. And then Fizz is great for energy, boosting your energy right there. And then the nice thing is this month it's actually free for you to sign up. So it's $20 normally for a year. It's like Arbonne Prime is how I describe it. So you order what you want, when you want, as often or as little as you want. You get free shipping, you get free gifts, you get so much extra resources from the team and myself. And yeah, so you would get an extra free gift with that as well. So let me know if there's anything if that also is intriguing to you. If it is, let me know what flavor of fizz you would like. We have countless. So I'm just gonna list them off and you can decide what you want from that, which is pineapple, pomegranate, watermelon, peach mango, blood orange, apricot basil, if it's not sold out yet, blackberry, which is one of my favorites, boysenberry, and I think that's it right now. Yeah, I think that's it right now. So you can pick whichever one you want, and then that also, I'll just put it into a cart, send it your way, and you can order what you want when you want. But I'd encourage you to do it this month because it's free to sign up and you get so much more freebies. That's my personal opinion. So let me know what you think about that, and we'll go from there. All my love, and we will talk very soon.